Hello, good evening, everybody. Yeah, we're looking forward to the match enormously tomorrow. It's a really great highlight for us, all of us. I think both teams have earned their stripes to be here in the quarterfinals. We've had some strong matches in the Europa League. I think there's going to be an interesting one-to-one tomorrow, head-to-head. Hello, everybody. Of course, I'm also looking forward to this match greatly. It's a great honour to be at this quarter-final in the Europa League. So, yeah, we're really motivated and we're looking forward to the match hugely. Thank you for your first statements. We're going to come now to your questions. We'll start with you from the Frankfurter Rundschau magazine. Microphone. Bitte immer auf Mikrofon warten. Please wait for the radio mic before asking any questions. Dino, we noticed that Knauf isn't there. How will you replace him? Apparently he's not travelled today. We had the hope that he would be able to join us here. It didn't quite work out that way eventually. So we're trying to sort everything out for him by Sunday. It's difficult to replace, but there are always various factors to consider, but bringing in another winger is not always so straightforward, but we're going to have the right system in place for us at least, where we'll be able to fit this model to our opposition tomorrow. We've had one or two dropouts, but we have got enough quality to replace, to fill any holes. Radio station question. Dino, big highlight, as you said, playing tomorrow. Really unbelievably geared up for this match tomorrow. So we're in the last top 8 teams in the Europa League competition. To see Eintracht Frankfurt there, is that how you saw it at the beginning of the season, that Frankfurt are amongst the top 8 now? And is the team going to use that as some kind of motivation, some kind of springboard? Yes, I believe so. It's been a great performance for the boys to reach this last 8. We've had superb play from our lads. We deserve to be here. We're on merit. We've got a very strong focus. But at the same time, we also ought to look forward to this match tomorrow because we've earned it. You know, it's a reward in its own right. We're coming up against the top favourites tomorrow, in my opinion. I think Tottenham are the biggest favourites. Maybe United at the beginning of the season. I think Spurs and Man United were clearly the 2 top favourites. But tomorrow, well, here we are. We've got a first head-to-head against Tottenham. It's something quite special. And, well, we're certainly ready for it. We've got a great mix of young talent and also our experienced players. We've got a strong experience, good mentality. I think we're ready for any opposition, in fact. So we're also coming up against a team who are led by a very strong trainer in Ange Postecoglou as well. Next question. Radio mic being delivered. Good evening. Dino, Johnson. When you talk about quality, is Johnson a particular one who's attracted your attention, or are there others who need to be stopped in their tracks? Well, just with a glance at the team sheets, you have to say in the Premier League, you can see we've got I think he's amongst the top 5 players for me in the Premier League. He had some problems with injuries earlier in the season. So I think perhaps he hasn't quite reached the level in the Premier League that he might otherwise have wanted to, but however, his focus is now completely upon this competition, the Europa League. So next season, no doubt they'll be mounting a strong campaign in the Premier League too. But for now, I think basically we have to put our best performance out as the team collective. It's not only this one player, Johnson, that we have to watch out. We know about Sonny as well. We know Solanke, Johnson, you know, the others. We could go through the entire squad list and say these are all threats. But let's not forget we also have a very strong team ourselves. And in this match, we want to show that we can tolerate the attacks from Tottenham, and hopefully we're going to come through it with flying colours. Christopher, next question. Hello, Dino. We've had great performances from Konstanz in Bochum, also in Bremen, against Union Berlin. How do you explain? Do you think consistency is missing? Or is there a question about leadership? Obviously, it's known that you're not a great shouter, you know, you play a cool hand as a coach, but generally, you know, how do you explain that we're in this good phase of wins at the moment? Well, that's a very good question, an interesting question. If I really want to answer it properly, it would take a huge answer, but I think the facts are this, that to be third in the Bundesliga and in the quarterfinals of the Europa League, I can only remember that Eintracht Frankfurt has not been this far, and now we're not exactly at this level where we're permanently in this sort of consistency level. We haven't quite got it. Bayern Munich have it, maybe Leverkusen, you could say the same. But for us, you know, we might play against Bremen not too well. And then, however, then some players come through in our team, and in the Bundesliga season, we've got one of the youngest starting 11. So you could say that's normal. It's not an excuse. We want to have things different, but it's part of a development process going on at the club. And I think as Eintracht Frankfurt, you know, we're not always this far in competitions. We would like to be, with our performances, always at this level or thereabout, among the top 4 in the Bundesliga and playing internationally. But we know this, we're working at this. Hopefully it's one of our goals. But we're working at it. This is one of our goals, and it's our great promise for the future. It's our biggest destination at the moment. However, tomorrow it's all about putting on a good show tomorrow, and then also on Sunday we've got a big match back home in Germany. Maybe I'm not the loudspeaker or the shouty one, as you say. I'm quite a young player, you know, my experiences are what they are. But I like to show a calm persona on the pitch and to help implement our strategy. But I think I can certainly help the team tomorrow. From Bild magazine, just here, second row. Next question. Dino, einer deiner jüngsten steht im Tor, hat mit die wenigsten Spielen, das ist ja morgen ein Spiel, wo es vielleicht auch ein bisschen mehr kribbelt. Very young team tomorrow. What you as trainer, do you speak, are you in a business as usual state with your players? Or do you think that you're going to have a player making impact tomorrow? Kauer, I think when he also played against Besiktas before that match, in fact, I did speak with him in the dressing room for a couple of minutes, just one-to-one. There was maybe a curse over his international matches. I wanted a higher level from him, no question about that. I asked him, to step up. I don't need to say anything else to him in terms of one-to-one dialogue. I notice in him that he's got a certain energy, a wildness, but he shows this great energy in training. I don't think I've got anything else further to add to motivate him. Thank you. Good evening, Dino. We know Spurs have got a very attacking style of play, second most attacking statistically in the Premier League. So how are you going to set out your team to resist this aggressive style of play from Spurs? Obviously, there's a risk of many attempts on our goal. Yeah, definitely right. We have an idea, we have a plan, but as always in a game, every match has its own dynamic that develops during the course of the match, so you can't always see in advance how that's going to be. We know that the boys are going to be having intensive pressing phases, but then we're also going to have long defensive periods. So we know Tottenham are very strong with their high press. They play a lot of long and wide balls. So what we're looking for is very quick changes, the quick transitions, so that hopefully this is something we've also been showing in the Bundesliga, that we can insist on our high press, which then results in lots of shots on goal. But this is how the highest level of matches are decided these days. So, but at the same time, whilst the high press is in place, we also have to keep a strong defence in place. It's a very tense, exciting way to play. There are similar systems as you might see in Ajax Amsterdam, for example, where the individual talent of players can also shine through. So it's an interesting mix. My question was similar. I'll change it around a bit. I had a lot of big players in London the last few years. We've been over here in London against Chelsea, against West Ham, but now we're in this fantastic stadium. What do you think? Yeah, you've seen this in training today, how focused the boys are in training, how attentive they are and how intensively they train. We know what lies ahead of us tomorrow here at White Hart Lane. I think, in the last round of 16, we had the other teams who came here had a torrid time, so it's going to be a high-level performance tomorrow, a Europa League quarter-final. Obviously gives the opportunity for the top four to get into the semis, so it's a huge journey for us, and we're well on our way. So it's all about finding the right mixing tomorrow, where we've got this healthy attacking style, but we've also need to defend our positions. Colleague over here in the middle, microphone's coming.
I have a question in English.
I know.
It's Boris from Antenna 5. You said so many good words about your opponent, like they're the favourites for this competition, but you're doing so well, you know what it means to win in Europe, and also you had 2 big wins in the previous round against Ajax. Do you not consider yourselves as contenders this season?
For sure, we know about our quality, for sure. But the situation before 3 years, it was a completely different team. It was a very experienced team. We are quite a young team. We are getting our experiences in this moment. We don't say that we have no ambition. We are here to compete in this stadium, to compete against this team, and for sure we want to go in the next round. Therefore we are here, and therefore we fight for. But we know about the quality also of our opponent. That's the truth.
Danke.
Top. Konrad Ringler. Next question, please. Question to Skhiri. Can you tell us? What can you tell us about the inside the team? Obviously, you said it's possibly the most important match of your career so far, but is it? How can you explain the feeling within the team? Wie ist Ihr Gefühl? Wie ist Ihre Meinung? From my side, of course, it's a big moment. It's a big match for me. It's big for all of us. But we've had a lot of big matches as well in the CAN, the African Cup of Nations, in the Bundesliga as well. But the team's ready. We know what we're expecting from tomorrow. A very intensive intensive match against an aggressive opponent in Tottenham. So we want to put a good performance in tomorrow. It's only that the whole team, every player within that team knows that it's a big match, and we're here to. We're very pleased to be involved in a big match like this tomorrow. We're all highly motivated. He said third in Bundesliga and quarter-final of the Europa League's a good position, but you didn't want to prioritize any competition over any other. But it would be. Is it possible to take both competitions as seriously, Bundesliga and Europa League? That's a good question. Personally, I believe that there's no difference. We want to win every match that we play. You have a different focus on the different kinds of games. The Bundesliga match one way. Tomorrow, however, in this stadium, this quarter-final, it's not an everyday experience. Whereas, we play 34 matches in the Bundesliga, so it's not the same competition at all. But our desire tomorrow is to be fully focused on a good performance tomorrow, with maximum ambition in this competition to go further. And then Sunday, we've got it again. Yeah, that's another big match for us. It's a different kettle of fish, though. It's a different analysis, different preparation. We will learn things from tomorrow's match, of course, that will feed into Sunday's game, but they're really, you can't compare apples with oranges. Evening, both of you. Is there any expectation from tomorrow? Was there any issues with the flight? Some people are not there. Elly, last week, he had a problem in training, a little knee injury, a knock. He took a knock to the knee. He's an option for tomorrow. He's not going to be in the starting 11. That would be too much, but we've got him there. If we need him, if there's a particularly hot moment, we can always bring him in. But there's no particular plan for him, but he's a candidate for clocking up some playing time tomorrow as well. We've got some players who are here with us who've not been picked, but they've trained this morning. So they're knocking on the door to team places as well. We could have left some behind in Frankfurt, but we had Heidenheim last week. But the match plan is to have our full team, full squad available. We've had a good intensive training session today, and we hope that in the next weeks we'll be able to have all players functioning on all cylinders.
Dino, dann noch zwei andere Personalien. Wie
There's Kevin Trappner. He's not here today. Kevin Trapp, the goalkeeper. And then Can Uzun, he's coming back from injury. He would have been dreaming of this competition. He would, of course, love to bring that trophy back to Frankfurt. Any news on them? Yeah, Trapp is training. He's 1-to-1 as goalkeeper. We couldn't bring him back after just 2 days training and then straight back into the team. He's come here with the team. He's flown together. He's been captain. Can Uzun. He had special training for Sunday, so he trained today. He had a knockback with his training, a little setback. So, but for us, he's a player who definitely will be a very important factor in the coming weeks for our assault on the end of the Bundesliga. He's doing really good training, and we're looking forward to getting him back in the team as soon as possible. Yeah, as a team, we're all dreaming of this great goal. Anything can happen tomorrow, but first and foremost, tomorrow, let's not forget we're up against a very tough opponent in Tottenham. Put on a good performance for the whole team with a full focus and hopefully high motivation as well. And we can dream. And as I've said, we have to first foremost remember we're up against a big opponent in Tottenham. Again to Ellyes. You know, some players who've had the experience of a final in the Europa League. We've got Mario Götze. Mario Götze statistically doing again better than previous season. Do you think he has a role to play in teaching the team about the experiences of playing in big competitions? Yeah, we have a few players who've got this experience of playing in Europa League, who won it. So they can help, you know, they can explain to us what to expect. That helps us all, of course. Every competition is different from the next. There's always a new goal. There's new work, fresh work to be done. So we can only just bring our best performance to each match. I can't really add anything else to that. Mario, in the pre-season, he started working with the new training team. He missed 1 or 2 units of training. He had a bit of a slow start to the season because of that. He also had his child was born and he became a father, so it kind of interrupted the program. He wasn't there at training quite as often as we wanted to have. I don't need to go into the reasons why, but now that he's back in this group with Trappo, with the rotating captaincy. Let's not say that Mario Götze needs the armband, the captain's armband, but he's a very, very important player for us as a group, and he's often said that he feels great on the pitch, off the pitch. He's a very important factor for every individual player. You know, all the players talk to him and know him, and he gives good advice. And for me, we often have exchanges, and I've always had this feeling that he brings this importance for all the other players. He's so relevant, he's so important. He's now adapting on the 4-2-3-1. He's adapting better to that. He said he feels good now with this new pattern, this new setup. I think it's now a mixture of a lot of different factors with Mario, but very important to us. Last question, we're coming to the end of the press conference.
Spiel verlassen musste, obwohl das gerne bis zu Ende gesehen hätte. Gibt es eine ähnliche Geschichte, was die Premier League oder London angeht? Gibt es eine besondere Beziehung zu dem Londoner Club oder gucken Sie auch was Besonderes bei der Premier League, bei den Vereinen hier, vielleicht auch für Ellyes? Ist die Premier League immer noch was extrem Besonderes für Fußballspieler? Wie guckt man da drauf?
How do you view the Premier League now? Is it still an extreme experience for players? I have no particular anecdote about it. There are many stories that come from the fans about how fantastic the Premier League is. A match, a 4-0 win, the entire stadium stands up. Stand up if you love City. I don't know. These are regular stories that you hear, but you know, whether this has a particular effect about Tottenham, it's hard to say. Lots of trainers say that they have experience of playing against the Premier League teams, and they see the great players. It makes everybody excited to watch the fast tempo, the quality of the players. It's great fun to watch for us as coaches, as it is for you as football journalists. Okay, well, I thank you all. Ellyes, all success tomorrow, the quarter-final tomorrow, Tottenham Hotspur against Eintracht Frankfurt tomorrow in the Europa League quarter-finals. Hopefully, we've got over 3,000 tickets sold to our contingent here in London, so I wish you all a lot of fun here in the British capital and enjoy your evening, and we'll see you all here tomorrow at Tottenham Hotspur. Many thanks.